Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Maria. If you watch this video and you enjoy it, don't be shy, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for any future videos on narcissistic abuse recovery, all things toxic relationships, and complex post-traumatic stress disorder. So, in lieu of Valentine's Day, we are going to talk about leaving a toxic or emotionally abusive relationship in a safe way. Okay, in a mindful way. So let's get right down to it. Number one, and excuse me if I look down, I'm going to be looking at my notes. You are ready to trust your gut. That is step number one. You may already be there, and that's why you're doing your internet research on YouTube about narcissists, narcissistic abuse, and that might be why you have found your way to this video. You are ready to trust your gut. You understand that this person you are with may not have your best interest at heart. And the things that they are telling you about yourself is not really who you are, and you're understanding that difference, who they think you are compared to who you know at the core you are. So you may be at that point, and I commend you if you are, because it's really important for us as human beings to trust our gut instinct, okay, and not to stray away from that and create excuses for other people's behavior towards us. Okay, so that is number one. Number two, start thinking 3 steps ahead. And why I say this is, a lot of times when we research narcissistic abuse and narcissists, we see YouTube videos that were like, that's what I'm going through, that's what I'm going through. Well, understand that narcissistic abuse is a cookie cutter kind of thing. So when you might be going through something with your narcissist, somebody else may have a completely different relationship as you. They're complete strangers, right? But they tend to be going through the same situations because narcissistic abuse seems to be similar from situation to situation. So thinking 3 steps ahead of the narcissist is key, okay? So you have to think, what could happen when I leave this relationship? What are some of the things that could happen? I have some suggestions for you. One is, make sure that most of your communication, or as much as possible, is done through text message or say email. You want to have a paper trail of what is going on. Sometimes these situations do get dangerous, and if you are in a narcissistic marriage that you are needing to be free of, remember that you may end up having to go to court. The key to going to court with a narcissist, because they can be very charming when they want to, is to have the facts ready to go. So having a paper trail of what kind of abuse you are going through is going to be key, okay? So that's one thing I recommend. Writing things in text, having that proof of the information. Do not discuss your relationship or the fact that you might be leaving with a family member or a good friend or a relative, somebody of the narcissist, because you want to make sure that you are in a safe situation. So letting other people know about what is about to come, it's a kind of iffy situation. So make sure that you have a very close, trusted group, or maybe just 1 or 2 people that you can go to who really do have your best interest at heart. And you know that this information is not going to get back to the emotionally abusive person that you may be with. Have a plan set up. If this is somebody that you are living with currently, it would be of your best interest to know where it is you're going to leave and go to before ending the relationship. So what I mean by this is, don't end the relationship without having a future plan as to where you can go to, because remember that toxic people tend to be manipulative and love bomb you. So you might notice that they come back and say, I'm so sorry, I will change. Now, we know how this ends up, so it's gonna be, it'll be beneficial to you if you know where you're going and you have a safe place to go to. Something really important, okay, is to find a support group of people who are going through the same thing that you are going through. So have this lined up. I suggest you look on Facebook. Facebook has a lot of closed secret groups of individuals who are also going through narcissistic abuse, narcissistic relationship, toxic abuse, emotional abuse, that understand your situation. Because as you maybe have noticed, when you speak to people who have never been in relationships like this before, it is very hard for them to understand what it is you're going through. But when you're with like-minded people who have been in your situation, it is a whole different healing process. So that validation of someone understanding and saying, yes, I went through that. Yes, this is a symptom of narcissistic abuse. Yes, this is something that people go through when they have CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder. So Facebook closed groups are good. Just dive into it and really look at that. Having a therapist and a life coach is also beneficial. So I do coaching for people that are healing from narcissistic abuse, narcissistic families, childhoods, and really dig down and try to figure out what it is that causes you to get into these relationships in the first place. All right, so number 3, be ready to set boundaries. If you are someone, and you may tend to be, because you have been in a toxic relationship, you are somebody that it's very difficult for you to say no or to set boundaries for yourself. I highly recommend that when you do leave a toxic relationship, anybody will tell you that the most beneficial thing for you is to go no contact. This means no late night visits, no intercourse, things like this, okay? Because that no contact means that you are not able to be love bombed again. You are not able to be sucked back in, because understand that when you are love bombed, you may think to yourself, wow, this is just like the relationship was in the beginning. I bet they've changed. You go back to them and very quickly the relationship will go back to that manipulative way in which it was before, only it will be worse, because what happens in these relationships is then the person punishes you for being weak in that moment and coming back. So no contact is key, if at all possible. If you have children, it's a little bit different, but the less contact, the better. And lastly, how about it is an idea that you write down some things that you can do, that you can look forward to, some positive things to jumpstart your new life. So what about signing up for a membership at a yoga studio? Taking that camping trip with your kids you've been meaning to do. Planning a girls' trip. Planning a guys' trip. Some things like this. Planning a trip to an amusement park. Just something where you can get into a new routine, where you can get around people in a positive environment and just start that new life. Start that new positive life that you deserve. And I just want to close out. So I've been reading this book by O.G. Mandino. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But it's called The Greatest Miracle in the World. And there's a part of this book I want to read to you real quick. Okay. Most of us build prisons for ourselves. And after we occupy them for a period of time, we become accustomed to their walls. And we accept the false premise that we are incarcerated for life. As soon as that belief takes hold of us, we abandon hope of ever doing more with our lives and of ever giving our dreams a chance to be fulfilled. We become puppets and begin to suffer living deaths. It may be praiseworthy and noble to sacrifice your life to a cause or the happiness of others, but if you are miserable and unfulfilled in that lifestyle and you know it, to remain in it is a hypocrisy, a lie, and a rejection of the faith placed in you by your Creator. So guys, I hope this video helped you in some way to jumpstart your journey to a healthy life that you deserve. And remember, a lot of times we find our purpose in our pain, and you can get through this. So I hope you are ready to find that purpose inside. All right, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel for any future videos on narcissistic abuse recovery, and toxic relationships, and CPTSD. And as always, I wish you all the love in the world.